of His-tagged protein. Alright, today we have a team from Protein Biotech Company. Welcome everyone.
Thank you.
So now let's start with a little introduction about the His-tagged protein.
Assalamualaikum and a very good evening. So today we are from Grade 7. We are going to present about the purifications of His-tagged protein. So I am Nuri Hidayah. I'm going to present and introduce about His-tagged protein. So the outline of our presentation is about introduction, structure, functions, and characteristics of His-tagged protein, and the process, advantage, limitations, and also the applications. So firstly, I would like to introduce about His-tagged protein. His-tagged purifications use the purification technique of immobilized magnetic affinity chromatography, or known as IMAC. And the use of His-tag and IMAC can often produce relatively pure recombinant protein directly from a crude lysate. And in this technique, transition metals ion are immobilized on the resin matrix, and then using a chelating agent such as aminoacetic acid. So the transition metals that commonly used are nickel, cobalt, copper, and also zinc. Meanwhile, the elutions or washing buffer used is imidazole. Next is what is histidine-tagged protein? So histidine-tagged protein is amino acid, which is histidine that attached to protein and or C terminal of the protein. Meanwhile, polyhistidine protein consists of at least 6 histidine that attach to N or C terminals of the proteins. So other names of histidine-tagged protein is hexa-his-tag, sig-his-tag, and also his-6-tag. So this is the structure of our histidine-tagged protein.
Okay, could you share with us the characteristic of the His-tagged protein? Okay.
And now we will move on to the characteristic of the His-tagged protein. Okay, for the first characteristic, this His-tagged protein is small and it's uncharged. Because of the uncharged characteristic, it does not affect the folding of the fusion protein within the cell. And the second characteristic is it comprised of 6 to 14 histidine, and it's typically fused to the N or C terminus of the protein. It also has strong affinity for the metal ion, that it can bind back to the IMAC resist in near neutral buffer condition. Okay, there are several functions of this purification. Okay, for the first function is it can be used to analysis of protein, purification of nucleotide, purification of enzyme, and also it can be used to isolate both native and denatured protein. This figure shows that the process which is isolate. This is for the native protein and this is for the denatured protein. It is the same process, but it involves the native.
Okay, now so let's look at the disadvantages and advantages of the His-tagged protein and the IMAC.
Okay, next I will explain about the advantages of His-tagged protein and immobilized metal affinity chromatography. Okay, for advantages of His-tagged protein, the first one is it can be added to the protein of the interest. The second one, it can be irritated under mild condition, which allow them to retain their biological activity. And the third one, it has small size and charge of the histidine affinity that ensure that it really affect protein purification. The advantages of immobilized metal affinity chromatography. The first one is it can purification of highly expressed protein, which can promote purities up to 92%. And then use concentrating the delivery samples. And the third one is purification and subsequent recording can be done in a single step. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. My name is Nahila. So thank you, Nadra. So next I will proceed to the limitation of His-tagged protein and immobilized metal affinity, or we call IMAX. first is the limitation of his-tagged protein. First limitation is the potential degradation of his-tagged protein. It occurs when a few of the histidine residue being degraded, it will reduce the affinity test of the protein, and then we get the decrease, the low purity of the protein purification. The next is a potential to form a dimer and tetradimer in the presence of the metal ions. It's when the his-tag bind to the protein, our protein, it have the potential to form a dimer or tetradimer. So when form a tetradimer, it's not a big problem, but it can cause we get the inaccurate molecular mass of our target protein. So next is the coalition of other histidine containing protein. Coalition means that the process whereby where the two or more chemical compounds will be elute together from the chromatographic column. It will cause a problem because it can cause the difficult for us to separate the protein. So the next one is the limitation of IMAX. First is the use of strong reduction agent such as the DDT can cause the reduction of nickel. This is as a consequence, it will increase the nickel concentration in the during the protein preparation. The next is the last one for the limitation of IMAX is the chelating agent such as EDTA to inhibit the metalloprotease activity. It is because the EDTA complex the nickel from the conventional IMAX machines. So this is all about the limitation of the IMAX.
Okay, so now let's look at the process of purification for this his-tagged protein.
Next, we will proceed to the process of the purification of the his-tagged protein. Okay. Before we proceed to the purification of the his-tagged protein, first we need to undergo the addition of the his-tag and the expression of the purification his-tagged protein. For the addition, first, the plasmid will contain a segment of DNA encoding the protein of interest that will be inserted into a plasmid. And then the plasmid will contain the first replication of origin is for the replication of the plasmid, and then it also consists the gene resistant to antibiotic ampicillin for the selection for the cell, and then also contain the multiple cloning site for the registration enzyme to cut the plasmid, and then the protein can be ligated into the plasmid. For example, the enzyme PBU2 was used to digest the plasmid will produce the blunt end, and then if the DNA encoding with the tag protein also have the blunt end, they will be ligated into the plasmid. Also for the example, the upstream of the DNA will have a leg operon and 3 bases, and then for the downstream there will have 6 histidine codon encode for the peptide tag. The ATG, which is a start codon, will code for the methionine. And then we proceed to the expression of the histidine-tagged protein. The repressor binds to leg operon will create obstruction for RNA polymerase. And then induces is added to the calcium medium and binds to the repressor proteins that will allow the RNA polymerase to pass through and transcribe the DNA into RNA until reach the stop codon. Also in the plasmid will contain the important region which is RBS, ribosome binding site, that the ribosome will bind to the site and translate the RNA into the protein. So when the cells transformed with this plasmid are induced to express the target protein, the tag protein becomes abundant in the cell, so the expression will conform, and then we'll proceed the purification step. For the purification step, I will pass to the Amira.
Okay, so now I will explain
proceed with the explanation of the last step in this process, which is the purification of his-tagged proteins. So after we have obtained the cells that express his-tagged proteins, we need to harvest the cell by breaking them open in order to prepare the crude cell extract. So next, the crude cell extract that we obtain will be filtered out in a column which contain agarose beads with nickel atoms attached to them. And the his-tagged tag of the desired protein will bind to the nickel on the agarose bead. And next,
Okay, so now can you share some of the application for this his-tagged protein?
So my name is Muhammad Zanizam and I'll be presenting about the applications of IMAC. So IMAC, the use of alloproteins to the antibodies, from antibodies to the phosphorylated proteins, and from phosphorylated protein to recombinant his-tagged protein. So these are the applications of IMAC. The first one is the purifications of protein fraction, and then the purifications of membrane protein. The third one is purifications of zinc finger protein, and the fourth one is immunoglobulin purification, which is the antibody immobilization. The next one is purifications of recombinant tag protein, or called as GST tag and his-tag, and also biotin and biotinylated molecule purifications, and affinity purifications of albumin and microglobulin contamination, lactic affinity chromatography, and the last one is reverse phase chromatography. Okay. We go to the conclusion. So as a conclusions, the wide variety of applications, the IMAC principle offer for research in general and for productions of his-tagged protein in particular, which is its robustness and also its versatility. So his-tagged protein purifications are suitable for purified enzyme and nucleotide, and also to analyze the protein, and it is due to the strong affinity for metal ions, easily added to protein interest, and also small, uncharged, and does not affect the folding of fusion proteins. So next one from us. So I would like to invite my group members to the stage, and we have few questions for you guys, and if you guys answer it correctly, so present will be given to you guys. So you guys are ready?
yes.
Okay, for the first question is, what is the functions of his-tagged protein? What is the functions of his-tagged protein? Anyone can answer? Okay, sini. Okay, that's correct. Okay, for the second question is, name the metal that attached to the agarose beads.
Yes, one.
Zinc.
Yes.
Yes.
You can choose
One.
the price.
The third question is, what is the functions of imidazole? Anyone want to answer? What is the functions of imidazole? Solvent. Okay. What is the function of imidazole? Okay. Sorry, that's wrong answer.
Aida? Oh, okay, wait. Oh, sorry.
Washing agent.
That's the wrong answer.
Aida?
Okay, the fourth question is, why does the glutamine residue at the end of the tag needs to be modified? Anyone want to try?
Why does the vitamin is good at the end of the text modified. Anyone? You want to try?
Who wanna try? Why does the glutamine residue at the end of the tag needs to be modified?
No one? So we can proceed.
Oh, okay, no one. Okay, the answer is to prevent from being digested by the enzyme.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay, last question.
Last question is why strong reducing agents cannot be used for IMAC? Why strong reducing agents cannot be used for IMAC?
What is iron drinks now? What do you think?
Anyone want to try? Except for the who have tried before. Okay, Lena?
Maybe because the media in the IMAC cannot tolerate with the storage agent.
What's the answer? So that everybody can. So the answer is it reduces the nickel concentration when during the separation.
So? Okay, that's all from us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing the information with us today. Okay, we'll meet next time at the same place and same time with